Picture this. You're standing outside on a warm spring afternoon somewhere in the middle of Oklahoma. The sky was blue this morning, but now it's taken a turn. You glance up. The clouds look weird. Kinda dark. The air feels heavy too. Quiet. Too quiet. Even the birds dipped out. You know the drill. Sirens start blaring, and what's your dad doing? Standing on the front porch with a cup of coffee. Don't worry, he says. I'll let you know if it turns. So, what even is a tornado? Well, you start with warm, moist air meeting cool, dry air, then toss in fast, high-altitude winds blowing in a different direction than the winds down low. It's basically a chaotic atmospheric smoothie, and when all that collides, it can create a supercell thunderstorm, basically the heavyweight champion of storm systems. Inside this monster, a column of air starts spinning sideways like a rolling log, but then, rising air called an updraft tilts that spinning column upright. Now you've got a vertical vortex, and if the conditions are just right, boom, a tornado is born. And when it touches the ground, that's when the real fun begins. Imagine winds so fast they rip trees out of the ground like weeds. A fully grown cow, airborne. Whole houses, flattened. Cars, tossed like Hot Wheels. A tornado doesn't knock, it kicks down the door and rearranges the whole neighborhood. We rank these funnel monsters using the Enhanced Fujita Scale, or EF scale. It goes from EF0 to EF5, and EF0 is the weakest. Trees bend, a few shingles come off, annoying but survivable. EF1 and 2s are stronger, capable of ripping off roofs and destroying mobile homes. EF3s are when things get dangerous, powerful enough to obliterate entire houses. EF4s are even worse, leaving nothing but foundations behind and tossing cars through the air. And at the top, EF5 tornadoes bring complete destruction with wind speeds over 200 miles per hour, basically nature's way of hitting Control-Alt-Delete. Now, you might be wondering, why is the US Tornado HQ? Mostly its geography. The Great Plains form this perfect battleground where warm, humid air from Mexico slams into cool, dry air from Canada. No big mountains to block anything, just a wide open atmospheric war zone. This is Tornado Alley, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska. Though tornadoes can and do happen in almost every state but the plains, prime real estate. And how do we even know when one of these things are coming? Well, back in the day, people just relied on vibes. If the sky turned dark and the cows started acting weird, that was your tornado warning. But now we've got Doppler radar. Think of Doppler radar like a weather detective. It sends out radio waves that bounce off raindrops and debris inside the storm. Then it listens for how those waves come back. If the air is moving towards the radar, the waves come back squished. If it's moving away, they come back stretched out. And if the radar picks up air moving in both directions in the same spot, red flag. That means rotation. The storm might be trying to spin up a tornado. It doesn't predict tornadoes with 100% accuracy, but it gives us a heads up and buys people time. And when we're talking tornadoes, even a few extra minutes can be the difference between getting to safety or not. Now, let's talk about a tornado that broke the record books. May 3rd, 1999, Oklahoma. You're a resident in Bridge Creek, a quiet town just southwest of Oklahoma City, and the weather has been acting weird all day. Humid, still, that eerie quiet. Suddenly, sirens. Then you look outside and you see it. A monster tornado touches down. Not just any tornado. This was the Bridge Creek Moore tornado, and it quickly became one of the most violent and powerful tornadoes ever recorded in human history. How powerful? Well, at its peak, this EF5 beast had winds estimated at 301 miles per hour, the highest wind speed ever measured on Earth. It tore through neighborhoods, leveling homes, tossing cars, and stripping pavement off roads. Entire blocks were flattened. 36 people died and hundreds were injured. Over 8,000 homes were destroyed and damages totaled over $1 billion. The first tornado to ever hit that mark at the time. It wasn't the deadliest, but in terms of sheer destructive force, it was unmatched. One survivor had to hold on to a guardrail to prevent himself from flying away. Now, if you want to talk about the deadliest, there's one tornado that no other has surpassed. Not even close. March 18th, 1925. The Tri-State Tornado. This thing didn't just pop off and vanish, it stayed on the ground for 3.5 hours. Traveled through Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana, and carved a path of destruction 219 miles long. No tornado has ever traveled that far on the ground. It destroyed entire towns. Murfreesboro, Illinois lost 234 people alone. When it was over, the death toll hit 695. 2,000 more were injured. The deadliest tornado in U.S. history, and still holds that title 100 years later. It was so powerful that a personal check was found over 200 miles away from where it started. Imagine that. You write a check in Missouri and it ends up in Indiana, hand-delivered by the wind. This was before Doppler radar, storm sirens, or smartphones, so people didn't get a heads up. Most of them had no idea it was coming until it was there, so it's no surprise the damage was so bad. Fast forward to May 22nd, 2011, Joplin, Missouri. It's a Sunday. People are winding down for the weekend, probably thinking about dinner or what's on TV. Then boom, out of nowhere, an absolute unit shows up. EF5. Chewed through Joplin in under an hour. Took out homes, schools, even the hospital. Whole neighborhoods gone. And if that wasn't enough, the storm also kicked up a nasty little bonus. Flesh-eating bacteria. Some people who got injured ended up getting infected from dirt and debris. It was one of the deadliest tornadoes in U.S. history. And then, because apparently more Oklahoma can't catch a break, it gets hit again. May 20th, 2013. Another EF5. Almost 2 miles wide on the ground for 39 minutes. Whole neighborhoods were leveled again. Some people had just finished rebuilding from the 99 tornado, and now they were back to square one. Knocked down twice, rebuilt twice. 11 days later, May 31st, El Reno, Oklahoma gets slammed. This one was a beast. Widest tornado ever recorded. 2.6 miles across. It was huge and unpredictable. It kept zigzagging, speeding up, slowing down, basically doing whatever it wanted. 3 well-known storm chasers, Tim Samaras, his son Paul, and their partner Carl Young were killed when the tornado flung them from their car. A brutal reminder of the danger these things can pose. So, what do you do if one's coming? If a tornado warning hits your area, don't try to film it, don't try to outrun it, unless you're already in a car going the other direction. And definitely don't shelter under a highway overpass. You want a basement or the lowest floor in a sturdy building, interior room. No windows. Cover yourself with a mattress. Tornadoes don't care about your weekend plans. They don't care about your house, your car, or your favorite selfie spot. When they drop out of the sky, they rewrite everything in their path. You started this video on a porch in Oklahoma watching the skies go weird. Now you know what's behind that weirdness. Supercells, updrafts, EF scales, Tornado Alley, and the stories of real people who lived and sometimes died in the shadow of one of Earth's most terrifying forces. So next time the sirens go off and the sky goes dark, you'll know what's going on out there, and the best thing you can do is get out of its way.